Good day and welcome to DMV Muscles Live. Today we're talking to Nicole Williams, the owner of Allure Dance and Fitness. Nicole, how are you today?
I am doing good. I'm glad to be alive. I still don't have any coronavirus. And, making the best of this whole quarantine situation.
I, I think we all are, and it seems to be a bit of a struggle. Not only just the cabin fever that I guess we're all getting, but it's also been a pain on business. It's been a pain on our social lives, our family lives. How's it
Yes.
how's it been out there for you in the midst of all this going on?
Well, the first couple weeks, like before the stay-at-home order, it was kind of like, is this real? Is this some government? Are they trying to, some big business trying to, it had all these things that I'm wondering about. And then you start seeing updates, and now you're seeing bodies, and you're seeing people getting stacked. And then there's stay-at-home, and you're like, okay, this is serious. So the first 2 weeks, I was a little like just kind of not settled. I didn't know what was going on, so felt very confused, which made me feel frustrated and kind of sad. And then after the first 2 weeks, I felt like very disconnected. And so after that 2 weeks, I finally started doing FaceTime calls and started getting more connected with social media and just talking to people and just kind of sharing how I was feeling. And then after that, that's when it kind of transitioned and I started feeling better and just making sure that I had something to do because I work from home and then not being connected. I was like, this feels so weird. Like I was feeling deprived. So
All right. And you're a very active person, so for you being indoors for so long, are you able to get out at all, or are you able to get out and maybe do a little walk or something? What is
yeah,
that like?
you don't have to stay like in your home. You can go out and like to the park or take a walk. Like a lot of people are doing that in my area, especially because it's one of those areas where it's really nice where you can walk around. There's parks available. So a lot of people are running and doing workouts at the park, people out there with their dogs, their kids. And we're just making the best of it. The weather is good now, finally. So it's like you can't actually go out and connect with nature because that is
Right,
super important. Like you can really get depressed from just being in the home
right.
for this long period of time.
And you're in California, so it may
Yeah.
be a little bit harder because like right now today we had a pretty cold day, so it's not that tempting to go outside.
Yeah.
But for you, it's always what? It's always sunny in California,
Yeah.
or
Like right now it's 70s, but prior to that it's like maybe 60s. We've been having a lot of rain too,
Mhm.
but people are still getting out and doing what they need to do. And the only time I really go out is to just do my store runs right now.
Okay. Now, we talked about the coronavirus and why and the impact that it's had. And we also introduced you as Nicole Williams, the owner of Allure Dance and Fitness Studio.
Hmm.
But who is Nicole Williams? Now, people may affectionately know you as Nicole the Pole because you've established yourself as one of the premier pole artists in the entire country. Is that safe to say?
Hmm.
So, who is Nicole the Pole Williams? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, Williams. It's so funny because literally, like, that's how I'm known. Like, I feel like that's how I know myself too. Like, I'm like, do people know my last name still? Like, that is actually Williams? Because now you would think the Pole is my last name. It's so funny. But Nicole, I'm an entertainer, a light, a light being, a healer. I'm a teacher, and I'm an artist. And the way that I show up and the way that I express myself is through dance, fitness, and then I'm also a certified life coach. One of the things that I've always wanted to do is work with people and help transform people's lives, help them to, learn our real power, learn how to use the universal laws, learn how to bring stuff to you and how to manifest and for doing forgiveness work and how to heal. Like that's a big, big part of my life. And then I'm always been that person who wants to share it and put it back out there so other people can move through life a little smoother, you know what I mean, so they're not having to struggle as much or having to go through the things that I went through. So that's who I am, and I like making people laugh and smile.
And you do a fantastic job of it. I've talked with you briefly today online, and the energy is evident. But even over social media, on Instagram, you
Yeah.
always have a positive word to share. You're candid. You motivate people. You give advice, and you offer your coaching, and it's wonderful. But you're
Hmm.
also you started off, I guess, you were always a person that taught maybe or that gave. Tell us a little bit about your background in fitness, but let's talk about your fitness journey. And before we talk about your
Hmm.
professional career in fitness, let's go back to little Nicole little Nicole that maybe in high school was active. Tell us
Uh-huh.
about how you were the many moons ago, so little Nicole, and then bring us all the way forward to how you became Nicole the pole.
It's so funny. Little Nicole in the house, I used to climb the walls. Like the hallway was wide enough to where I could put my hands and my feet and I'd just be climbing up the wall and inside the doorway. So it's funny that I'm doing this this active career where I'm still climbing stuff. But I grew up around all boys. All my cousins were guys. It was like just a few female cousins, but I didn't grow up with them. So I grew up playing sports and, developing my athletic skills. I like to say I think I'm a really good athlete because I grew up playing around boys, which, you got to push a little harder. You got to run faster. You got to just be a little tougher. And then in high school, I played volleyball, basketball, and then did a lot of track and field events. And so I was all year round. I was always playing sports. My last year of high school, I actually tore my ACL in a basketball game. So that kind of ended me continue on with sports. I did not have the surgery. I remember I went to a doctor actually probably about 2 years later, and he was like, so are you planning on continuing to play sports? And I was like, no, not really. He was like, well, you don't have to have the surgery then. I was like, I'm not going to have the surgery. And so that was in 1998 that I tore my ACL. I'm still as active as I am and don't have any issues with my knee,
Wow. Okay.
which is pretty amazing because for the most part, once you tear your ACL, like you can't do much. Like I still have to be a little careful. Like if I do anything like very like lateral movement wise, like I play racquetball or volleyball, I'll make sure to put on my knee brace, my ACL brace. But outside of that, I'm good.
Okay. Now, after high school, you were very active in high school, as you shared. You played different sports, and you were able to keep up with the guys, and you're able to keep up with the high school sports scene. After
Hmm.
high school, you became involved in fitness in another way. You started getting into fitness business. How did you get into the fitness business, and then what was that like? And it didn't start off with dancing. It was a different type of
I
fitness.
have no dance background. So, some friends of mine, I used to actually bowl competitively, which is like just a
Hold
fun
on.
fact.
Nicole the Bowler Williams.
Nicole the
Okay.
bowl. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Nicole the Bowler. I got it. All right. Cool.
My bowling nickname. I had a nickname for bowling too, which is so crazy. But everybody called me Nikki Knockout because I used to knock out them pins. You know what I'm saying?
Nikki Knockout. Okay.
Nikki
Okay.
Knockout.
All right.
But some guys that I bowled with in the league, they were like, fitness trainers in West Hollywood and, worked with a lot of celebrities. And so they were like, Nicole, you work out a lot. You're in good shape. You ever thought about training? And I was like, no, I haven't, but I do like to work out. Like I was used to lifting weights from playing sports and stuff. So I started training under them and started learning the ropes and I fell in love with it. Like I knew right away. I was like, this is what I want to do. And literally since then, since 20 years old, I've literally been in fitness, coaching, teaching people how to eat healthier, teaching people how to take care of their bodies. Because I believe that as long as you continue to be active in some way, you won't lose your mobility and your agility and your, how to move and just be athletic. Like a lot of people think, oh, I'm old, so I can't do this. But it's not because you're old, it's because you stopped doing stuff. You know what I mean? Like you
Hmm.
stopped moving your body, you stopped being active and exercising and playing different things. So I love kind of taking on a new challenge every year. Like last year, I started gymnastics at 39. Like that's unheard of.
Yeah. Wow. Why gymnastics?
I've always I always wanted to do gymnastics. That's actually why I fell in love with pole dance because I felt like I was living out my gymnastics dreams because it was like you could still do the same kind of stuff, but you were just kind of using an apparatus to assist you. And so the last year I was like, I finally want to get my back handspring and my backflip. And I was like, by the end of the year, I want to be able to do that. And so for summer this year, the goal was to be able to do that anywhere. Like I got it down packed. I don't need nobody to spot me. So that was kind of the thing. I just wanted to have something else fun, like a cool trick that I could pull out my back pocket. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Like in the summertime.
that's fantastic, and I think you've been very candid with us already because you shared that you were in high school and tore your ACL in '98, and then you just shared just now. You just mentioned your age. That at this
Yeah.
age, you're taking on new things, new fitness things, and your journey has brought you all the way here, where you're able to take on gymnastics, something that people may start at what 13 or 10 or very
Or
young ages, 4 or 5,
yes.
right? And you've actually been relatively successful in your journey to trying to be able to do that handspring or that backflips.
Yeah.
Talk about kind of the I think because the process of gymnastics, I'd imagine involves a lot of falling, and I think that
Oh,
speaks
it's
to
scary as shit. Can I use cuss words on here?
Oh, I don't know. On Facebook, if Facebook doesn't shut us down, then we're okay. Yep.
When I tell you, so people, it was a lot of people that were like, "Oh, you do pole dance already? It's the same thing. Like it's you're gonna be fine." And I'm like, "No, throwing your body upside down without something to hold on to, scary as shit." Like there would be days where I'm just like, I couldn't like calculate like how is it that if I just flip back, reach my arms, then I'm gonna land on my hands. You know what I mean? Like there's a big fear of landing on your head. And even I've talked to so many people that do gymnastics, they're like that fear never kind of really goes away. Like you understand a little more, so you know you're safe, but that fear is kind of always there. It's scary, but I needed it to push myself because I wanted other people to see, even if something is scary, it doesn't mean you're not capable of doing it. It just means you got to learn it and you got to get the technique so that you can feel more confident in it. That's it. And so that's why I really wanted to share the journey so that it would inspire people to kind of step out of your comfort zone. As long as you're being taught by someone, I wouldn't recommend doing that by yourself. But if you get taught by someone, you're going to be good. So,
It's been said often that to be an effective teacher, you have to be a great student. And I think when you mentioned that you're able to go in there and become a novice student again and put yourself under someone else's tutelage in this, hands to learn something new, it says a lot about you as a teacher. Now, before we talk about you as a teacher in terms of dance and pole dance and fitness, that's established for people that may not know who you are, but they may have seen you.
yeah.
So I'm going to mention, I guess, a couple of names, and I'm going to show a few pictures. I'm going to show a picture of you on a pole now with this beautiful hat on, just holding the pole very graceful and smooth.
Hmm.
All right, now I have another picture of you that I found that was on Vibe magazine, and they were doing a profile of you for
Yeah.
fitness and pole dancing. So you were basically recognized by a national magazine for your level of ability when it comes to not only pole dancing but also as teaching and being a fitness instructor.
Yeah.
And now some of the things that you may be more known for that people may not be aware of. There's a picture here with a green, and there's a young lady talking to Rihanna on a pole, and
Uh-huh.
that young lady talking to Rihanna is you.
That's right.
So you were in Rihanna's video.
Yeah, the Pour It Up music video, which everybody loves that song.
Yep,
That
pour
was
it up,
like
pour it
the
up.
first music video that featured pole dance in this kind of more positive, very kind of like sexy, classy way. And that kind of just catapulted from there.
All right, all right. And did you give her any tips? It looked like you were giving her some tips right
Yeah, I
there.
was actually showing her some spins. So in the video, you'll see Rihanna doing some spins too. So we actually, like, I showed her that day, like, here's 3 spins that you can do that I knew would still look good on camera. Like even if you kind of messed it up, it'll still look good.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's go to another. Now, I've also noticed that pole dance has become a large part of concerts now.
Yeah.
So we know about the Snoop Dogg thing. I don't have a Snoop Dogg picture, but I have a picture of you doing some gravity-defying thing on a pole with Bruno Mars holding a guitar.
Uh-huh.
Tell us about that. How did that come about? And what was that
So
experience like?
Oh, that was back in 2013. I actually originally booked his music video for the song Gorilla. And I think that video set was maybe 2 or 3 days. And then the last day of filming is actually the day that the Rihanna Pour It Up video came out, which is so funny. And so it was like one video was coming out and then I was doing another video. But anyways, Bruno Mars and the management team, like they love me so much, my work ethic. They were like, would you be interested in coming to Europe to perform? So I'm thinking I'm going on tour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like,
Like, all
you
right.
want me? Huh? I was like, oh my God, like, hell yeah, I'll be there.
Hmm.
And it ended up being, we went to Amsterdam for the European Music Awards, MTV.
Okay.
And so it was the year that Miley Cyrus smoked weed on stage, which was okay. They were in Amsterdam. So,
Right.
like, it was funny. If you look at the blogs for the European Music Awards that day, the highlights were Miley Cyrus smoked weed on stage and Bruno Mars had a pole dancer.
Oh wow. And that was you. And that was you. You.
That was the best experience. We performed at the Ziggo Dome, which is a huge entertainment complex. So when we did rehearsals that day, I had no idea how big this place was because it was blacked out. Like all I could see was the people that work on the cameras and lighting and all that stuff. So I didn't realize that I'm performing probably like in front of 10,000 people or something ridiculous like that. And I remember walking out on stage and being like, I looked and I was like, oh my God. Like, okay, I was like, let me take my focus and just look at the people in the mosh pit so I don't get too nervous. But one of the best performances ever. And to have done it with Bruno Mars is just like crazy.
Whoa, okay. Well, I have another picture here, and it shows your fun, lighthearted side. And I believe it's back from that time. It's New York. Looks like a New York subway, and
Uh-huh.
you're upside down on a New York subway with real people on it.
Yes.
How and that shows number one that you can, I guess you can pole dance anywhere,
You really can.
but also that you're not afraid to try something, I don't know, spontaneous. Tell us
Oh,
about
yeah.
what was that experience like? How did that come about?
I think it was like kind of like after the Rihanna video and all the things, I ended up getting a publicist and they kind of put me out on like a tour. So it was just kind of like I was doing a lot of TV, blogs, different shows and stuff like that. And so I ended up getting that with Vibe magazine, which is really cool. So they actually went and filmed me and took me out on the subway kind of just to see like, cause they have the guys that do that out there. So
Hmm.
New York is known for these male subway dances, but you don't ever see women doing that. So it was
Right.
fun to kind of, and nobody paid attention to me at all. Like this,
It's New York.
everybody just kind of like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, okay. Her feet on the ceiling. Okay, that's great. Okay. If I
Yeah,
stop
somebody
coming
else
up,
being crazy. Yeah, somebody else being crazy in New York. Yeah.
right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now I have one last image to talk about, and this is the image I believe from the Ellen Show,
Yes.
and they're I guess I would call her a character correspondent,
Yeah, Lonnie Love, the
Lonnie
comedian Lonnie
Love.
Love.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it's a wonderful episode. I'm not going to show the video because I think Facebook will block it, but it was a wonderful video of her coming out to Allure Dance Studio, Dance and Fitness Studio, to
Uh-huh.
work with you and a few of your students.
Yes.
And it was a very, it
It's so
seemed,
funny.
and it started off with her, it seemed like she was hesitant at first.
Uh-huh.
She was kind of reluctant. And I think this might be the journey that many people may face when they come and try out pole dancing.
Uh-huh.
And she started to get comfortable and started having a little bit of fun. And by the end, you can see that she seemed a bit stronger and
Yeah.
taller, and she felt maybe a sense of empowerment from this experience. So this might be a good segue to talk about that experience of being on the Ellen Show, and then any other type of things that are similar. But also, what does pole dancing mean for some of your students when they come in? What's the experience like, and what do they do that they believe or what they don't believe they can do? Just share
Yeah.
your experience in that.
My favorite thing about teaching is seeing students have that aha moment and them realizing that they're more capable than they thought. Because most people come in, they're very scared, they're very nervous, like Lonnie Love. And then, say for instance, you have someone that's heavy set. You know what I mean? So Lonnie Love, her first question was, "How much can the pole hold?" You know what I mean? Like a lot of women are like in their high like just below 200 or over 200 pounds, and they think that because they see the stereotypical body is small or like my size, but I'm like, women of all sizes can literally do this. I know some big girls that can do more stuff than I can, and I'm just like, but it's all about training your body. You know what I mean? You may take a little longer to do some of the stuff, but you eventually be able to do it. And I've had clients who are under 200 and over 200 who are going upside down on the pole. The other really cool thing is you feel more confident knowing that I don't know, it's something about being athletic and being strong and being able to do these cool ninja tricks that it just makes you feel like a superhero. Like I tell my clients, like I'm building little ninjas out here. Because I've had women who if you looked at them, you would just never think that they know how to do this. And it's just so empowering to know that, okay, I can do something. I'm actually capable. I actually am athletic. Because most of the women that do this have no athletic background, who are like becoming pole sensations and superstars and, telling their other family members. And I've gotten so many people into it of all ages, and it's just fun. It's really, really fun. You would be surprised if you can get out of the idea and not think of it as stripping, because it's not stripping. People say, "Are you a stripper too?" I'm like, no, I'm a pole dancer. I'm just dancing with the pole. I'm not trying to take off my clothes. I'm not trying to work in a seedy atmosphere. It's nothing wrong with that at all. Like I don't discourage people from like wanting to work at a club and stuff, but that's just not where I'm interested in being. I love teaching and I do love performing, and the strip club environment is it's a dark environment, and it's very difficult to work in that atmosphere. So that's why I've never been kind of drawn to it.
Talk about a little bit about sometimes I see that now and again that you are pictured with celebrities. You're in LA, so that's obvious. But it seems like a natural fit. You just seem to have this boisterous, outgoing personality. As a matter of fact, we have a comment from Steven Seidler who
Oh
said
yeah, that's my friend. Hey,
you you're hanging out in Miami and you just
I taught his wife. She started pole dancing. Now she's been pole dancing for 4 years. Like it's
oh my god.
crazy.
So what is it like? What is it like for you in LA when you're out there and you're dealing with different people? What is the LA life like for you? And talk about some of the people you may have worked with on different things or been interviewed by or
Well, this you see, there's Black Hollywood out here. You know what I mean? So it's
yeah.
like once, and I've been in Black Hollywood since probably my early 20s. But it's like once you meet somebody, you kind of just end up in all these other places. But like I've pole danced at Jamie Foxx's house. I've pole danced at Eddie Murphy's house. Like he has a bowling alley. I stood up my pole there. I stood on his ceiling. Like it's just so many crazy stories of people that I've been around. And when I first started pole dancing, I literally used to pull my pole out everywhere that I went. So if I was at a house party or a summer party, I'd be like, hey, do you want to bring out the pole? Because it was just, I wanted people to see that it was different than what they thought it was. So literally, I was known as the chick that was pulling the pole out all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Then that's kind of how Nicole the pole started, because it was like Nicole and her pole. And then just kind of changing how people see it and making it more fun. Then more people are like, okay, I'm going to try this out now. After I perform, people are like, can you show me a trick or two? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so that's just what it is now. It's the new fad.
So,
But
so
it's not going anywhere. Like people
so
thought it was going to die out. It's not
right.
going anywhere. Literally, it's continuing to grow.
So how mainstream is pole dancing? Is there like just everywhere you go, every city there's a pole dance studio? It seems like people are getting
Pretty
poles in their
much,
houses and
yeah, pretty much at this stage it is. And if you're not in the industry, like if you're not a student or a teacher, you don't know how big it is. But literally, when I first started in 2007, I opened my studio in 2009. When I opened my studio, there were only 3 studios in Los Angeles. 3. And one of them was a pop-up, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't her space, but she would teach classes and rent from someone else. So I was the next studio and first Black-owned studio in Los Angeles
whoa.
back in 2009, which is huge, you know what I mean? Because it
Yeah.
wasn't a big thing yet. And so now you can go to any state and find pole dance studios, and several dozens, like 10 minutes from each other, 5 minutes from each other. And then in every country, I taught in Dubai.
Dubai. Wow.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, women came in their hijab, took that hijab off, got on the pole, put the hijab back on, walked out the door. It was crazy.
International.
Yeah, it's
International.
international. It's everywhere. Every country you go to, you can just about find it. I've had people come from different countries. I had a woman that's come from Qatar, from Italy, from Paris. Like I have people that come from all over the place, London, that come in just to take lessons with me. And then when I get to go out to other countries, I get to do the same thing and travel and teach workshops, which I love doing.
No, the reason, and there's so many reasons why I wanted to talk to you, but I think the main reason is because you have this can-do attitude. We
Yeah.
touched on it earlier. You
Uh-huh.
have this bright spirit. You feed people online. You feed people
Right.
now with your energy. What can you say? Like we talked about the coronavirus and how it's kind of a burden on people, and I think particularly probably now for trainers, there's a lot
Yeah.
of fitness trainers out there that right now can't be with their clients. They're doing Zoom trainings. They're finding ways to meet people where they are with social distance.
Hmm.
Bring some of that energy, and if I don't want to put you on the spot, but give us try to can you provide something for people that might be struggling right now? What things can people do to keep their head up, to keep themselves motivated, to keep pushing forward?
I think the biggest thing is realizing that everything is happening for a reason. So if you look at it from that perspective, if everything is happening for a reason, it's supposed to be happening. There's some good here. And it's just about changing the mindset, right? So at first I was like, oh, this sucks. What about me? I'm losing money, my business, everybody's canceling and all this stuff. But then it was like, okay, you got to pivot now. It's time to change direction. So now it's like I'm available to do virtual lessons. I've been available to do virtual lessons, but I wasn't promoting it before. So like and then I'm actually putting out more about, hey, can you support me? So there's a humility, you know what I mean, that I've actually learned. And there is allowing yourself to ask for support, right?
Uh-huh.
Because in LA, especially in most of the US, people are living paycheck to paycheck. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So people I'm sure look at me and they think, oh, you're a celebrity and you're good. And I'm like, nah, you know what I mean? Like this is affecting me and I need support. I need help. I need people to kind of, so it made me get on my game. And I think for the most part, it's like, there's something that you could be doing in this time that maybe you didn't have the time to do before. And now everybody's being blessed with time. So it's like, instead of thinking about what you can't do, think about what are the things that I can do now? Like I can rent my studio space out. I can't teach classes, but I can rent my space out. I can rent my poles out. I can promote virtual lessons. I can actually still be connected if I just allow myself to pivot. If you're at home and you're with family, and maybe it's the time to start reading.
Right.
Pick up those self-transformation books and those self-help books. Like this is the time to do that, so that when this is over, it's like you can almost come out a little better than before. Like there's so many opportunities to create products and different services and to be of service. Main thing, like you get to be of service to other people. And I think if you can just kind of look at it from that mindset, like who can I be of service to? What is there inside of me that I can actually give that I haven't been giving? What have I been making excuses about that I can actually kind of step into and give myself time to work on it, so that when this is over, I can actually come out and have something to offer now. So that would be my positive. And then just know, like, we got this. We're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You ain't pay your rent right now.
Yeah.
Your bills off to the side. Like,
Yeah.
enjoy that and really just get that everything is going to work out like it is. Like, just really trust, and then allow yourself to also ask people, like, if you need support, if you need some help, some financial help, if you need people to promote yourself, like, you got to be willing to step outside of your ego to ask, because closed mouth don't get fed. Ask and you shall receive. And me asking, people are actually like, I've had people send me money who don't even know me. Like, I hope this helps. And it does. Like, I cried the other day. I'm just like, I'm so grateful for people actually giving without necessarily receiving a thing, a service, or a product. You know what I mean? They're just like, hey, let me help you out because you're always inspiring us and you're always lifting us up. Like, they want to basically give back to the very thing that I am every day, which is I'm always being this giving person. Now it's just allowing myself to receive during this time. Like, that's one of the big lessons for me, is allowing myself to receive in the same way that I give out on a daily basis.
So you just talked about how you give. You talked about how you're willing to receive and you pour out every day. Let's talk about ways that people can connect with you and support you. What are some ways that people can connect with you? Just Instagram, there's Facebook, there's websites. I'm going to put up a graphic and you just talk about which ways you want people to be able to find you online or wherever.
So Instagram is kind of like where I hang out the most. My Instagram page is Nicole the Pole. I'm on Facebook a little bit. I do have a Facebook account. It's Nicole the Pole Williams. My website is NicoleThePole.com. On my website, whether you live here or not, you can buy poles, rent poles. You can book me for parties. I travel to do like private events and parties where I actually perform. I've done 40th birthday parties, 50th birthday parties, 30th birthday parties. What else? I have instructional videos. So if you're at home, you have a pole and you want to kind of learn and feel like you're kind of getting a good teaching lesson, you can buy my videos. What else? I'm going to be selling apparel and stuff after we come out of this, and more products. My coaching page is Nicole the Soul Coach on Instagram, Nicole the Soul Coach.
Okay.
So if you're interested in coaching, you can message me on there as well.
And that's life coaching, right? That's not just fitness coaching, right? That's life coaching.
Yeah, we're working on life.
There you go. And that's important. That's important.
It is.
Yeah, I
It
think
really is, because I grew up always feeling like, the things that are really most important about life, I was like, why aren't we learning that in school? But you have to realize that's not what school is, right? School is what it is. It's about remembering stuff. But life, on the other hand, all the things that I learned, it's like I want to put that back out. Because it's like I've done so much reading. I've done self-development programs like since my early 20s, and learning how to do life is like one of the best skills that you can have. And you can't expect the world to look better if you're not willing to give out the information that you know to make it better. You know what I mean? So if I'm better, why would you not be sharing that with others, so that everybody else can be growing and be abundant and be peaceful and you know what I mean, take care of themselves. Like I want to put that out so that that amplifies versus keeping it to myself and then looking at everybody else like they're crazy.
I can't think of a better time or a better point to leave on a high note. Like I feel literally, I feel a little high right now because you're so uplifting and you're encouraging and you're so candid, and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
And guys, I just want you to just share, like, and share this video, like and share DMV Muscles. Make sure you like and share. She has posts going out on Instagram.
That's
Do what
right.
we can to uplift her. Follow her on Instagram. Benefit from her wisdom and her candidness, and also just her motivation. Like she's a
And my goofiness. Don't
I,
forget about the
the
goofiness, you know.
goofiness is oh god, and you're funny.
I'm silly as
So
hell.
you're funny, okay? And then I think you also mentioned once that you sing a little bit too. So we're gonna watch your Instagram and see you break out into a song one day as well, and
Yeah.
see how that goes. All right. So Nicole, thank you for being here today, and hopefully we'll have
Thank
you come
you,
back
Derek.
around, and maybe you can do some tutorials for people and see if they can do a few things. They can't maybe pole dance in the house, but they can
Yeah.
learn some moves to be more confident. Maybe some fitness things, something like that. Maybe we'll loop back around to you. Is that okay?
Yeah, I teach sensual dance too. So if there's women out there and you want to just learn how to maybe walk sexier, how to do, sensual floor work and give your man a lap dance, I teach that as well. And you can do it virtually.
Oh, all
Hmm.
right. Okay. All right. All right. So, as I was saying, feel free to visit, follow, like, and share DMV Muscles. Support us in any way you can on IG. We're at DMV Muscles. Facebook, we're at DMV Muscles, and the website, dmvmuscles.com. Thanks again to everyone for. I think I'm still blushing from that the lap. Guys, thank you so much for watching today. Thank you for engaging. Nicole, thank you so much for being here today. And thank you guys for watching. Again, check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook. Check out our website. We're working on it. We're going to update it. And feel free to like and comment, ask questions. If you're a trainer or you're somebody in fitness and you want to be known or share your input, give us a shout. And tomorrow at 2:30, we're going to talk to Nikki, the fitologist. So be sure to check us out again on Facebook Live. Thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. And Nicole, thanks again.
Bye.